Another habit that can go in your relationship or marriage is lack of restraint or lack of boundaries. Lack of restraint or lack of boundaries. Boundaries will help you to safeguard your marriage. Boundary will help you to safeguard your marriage. One of the importance of boundary is that it will reduce the feelings of being taken for granted, of being taken advantage of each other. It will help you to have mutual respect for each other's. And there are some areas that I've highlighted that can build boundaries around. Number one is time boundaries. That is agreeing on personal times versus couple times. That is, you should understand that from time to time you may need personal time to yourself as husband, you may need personal time to yourself as a wife. So you should understand your personal times for each other's. Create a personal time so that you can have that time to refresh, to relax, to study, to meditate, to think about your life. So you should understand that there is a time for personal time and there's time for couples times. So you should create boundaries around that. There is also emotional boundaries. That is respecting each other's feelings without judgment. That is, when you raise a suggestion, you should be able to handle that suggestion as a recipient of that information, that in a way that it will not hurt your partners with your response. So there should be emotional boundaries. That is, you cannot talk to each other anyhow. Even if you don't like what they say, there is a way to go about it. You not just use anyhow foul words to each other's. So there should be emotional boundaries. Another areas of boundary is communication boundaries. Deciding on how to handle conflict respectfully. Both of you should decide how to handle conflict respectfully without judging each other, without condemning each other. That is, when you have misunderstanding in this house, how do you resolve it? How do we resolve it in a way that it will not break our home, it will not break our marriage? So you should have communication boundaries. Another areas of boundary is social boundaries. That is setting limits on friends or opposite sex relationships to protect your intimacies. There should be boundaries around that. You should respect your partners when you come to opposite sex. That is, as a married couple, you cannot be chatting opposite sex at all hour. It's wrong. It's a sign of disrespect on your partner's side. That is, you should not be using some word that is meant to be using for your spouse. Either your spouse is there or when he or she is not there. Like for instance, now the word like "I love you," it should be reserved for your partner. It's not any word. It's not a word that you can throw out for anybody. That "I love you, baby." No, it's wrong. For using such word to opposite sex is very, very wrong. That should be social boundaries. Another areas of boundaries is financial boundaries. Being transparent about money, decision, and agreeing on budgeting. There should be transparencies. Your partner should know your income. They should know your worth. Don't hide financial information from each other. One of the major things that has caused divorce in many marriages is money or money related issues. So there should be transparencies in the areas of marriage. The Bible makes us understand that Adam and Eve, they are in Gardens of Eden, and both of them, they are naked and they are not ashamed. They talk about transparencies. So there should be transparencies in the room. Don't hide your income from your spouse. Your spouse should know your income. They should know your income. That there should be joint budgetings. I've done a video regarding that, the finance in marriage. So go and watch my videos on finance in marriage to get more details about financial boundaries. The Lord help us in the name of Jesus. One of the importance of boundaries in marriage is that boundaries in marriage, it promotes mutual respect. When you set boundaries in marriage, it will promote mutual respect. It will prevent resentment, because you know the do's and don'ts in that marriage to prevent unnecessary angers. So when there is a boundary in place, you know that if I do this, my husband or my wife will not be happy with it. So you now know how to respect him or her, so that there will not be a tensions in the room, so that there will not be feelings of being taken for granted. There will not be resentment or toxic environment. So another importance of boundaries in marriage is that it encourages healthy communications. When you set boundaries around communication, it will help you to treat each other with respect when you are talking, and not just use anyhow words to each other. It protects individual identities. When you set boundaries around communication in your homes, it will protect your identities. It means in marriage, two individuals become one unity, but does not mean losing your personal identities. In marriage, two become, that is, in marriage, two of you have become one flesh, but that does not rob you of your personal identity. That is, you have your visions, you have your own dreams. Your dream and vision may be similar, but it's not the same thing. Nobody was given the same visions. So there should be boundaries around that. Another importance of boundaries that it support conflict resolutions. When you have boundaries in your marriage, it will help you to decide, okay, when you have disagreement in this house, how do we resolve it, and which will protect your home from falling apart. The Lord bless you in the name of Jesus.